Hi guys, hope all is well. Welcome and welcome back. So on this video, I do want to talk about the detrimental effects of allowing your children to spend time, especially extended time, around karmic mothers and karmic family members. It's a tricky one. I have seen this unfortunately so many times and have experienced this. Um, People that grew up with karmic moms, when they get older, they become mothers themselves. A lot of times you will look at it like, well, well, that was just me. It'd be different. A lot of times they're all overly nice. They always want to chip in, always want to help out, always volunteering to do things sometimes, or I'll do this, I'll do that. They don't mind having them over. Um, just want to show you how that shows up because it usually, unfortunately, again, usually takes probably a good maybe 15, 13, 15 years before you actually really see the results of it. But let me tell you what I've learned and observed, especially now knowing what I know about the subconscious. With karmic mothers, they were karmic to you. They are still the same person. They haven't changed. Sometimes your relationship is a little strange, or some still kind of go around, still try to be nice, still try to be cordial. And you have that karmic mom, she's always taking jabs, always gaslighting, even as you're an adult. But you've kind of moved on, you're grown, you have your own family. And what I've noticed at karmic moms, they will always want to help, starting when these kids are young, wanting to help. And a lot of times, especially if you need the help or need a babysitter, you go ahead and take advantage of that. Now, something I've seen and experienced a lot, what they do is they will make, their little slick comments in front of the child, and while you're in the present, so you could imagine what they say about that. But the thing about this, if you are an adult, you've moved on with your life, a karmic mother doesn't see that as, oh, that's the innocent child, that's my grandchild. Oftentimes that is seen as a link to get at you more, and to be able to get at you more than before, emotionally strip you down. Because if you had a karmic mother, she probably manifested everything off of your energy. And with this, a lot of times when that parent is not around, the karmic grandmother or parental figure, they're always feeding negativity into the child, always feeding negative comments, always saying negative things. This is done intentionally. Now, the subconscious mind is responsible for 90% of your decisions. Everything comes from, well, except for the little 10%. All of that comes from the subconscious mind. So their child is constantly being fed negative thoughts about you, negative thoughts about you, negative thoughts. So over time, especially when they hit those teenage years, 90 is far greater than 10. By the time these kids are teenagers, they are already, a big portion of them, they are already hardwired against you. So even if they're not like feeling, like negativity towards you, or you have like some good times, that 90% is going to feed back over into the conscious mind. And that's when a lot of problems break out. I've seen it so bad. And I had one friend of mine that I grew up with, by the time her child was a teenager, her mom had just flat out told her son, you don't have to listen to what she tells you. And he didn't. And then by the time he, I think, was 18, he was already living with the grandmother. She had done so much damage to where they didn't even get along. She stayed with them, but over time, she had fed him enough to where finally it was just like, well, you don't even have to listen to her. This is intentionally because they know that is another way that they could pull on your energy, especially when it comes to kids. If they could keep that rift between you and that child, they feed off of that. Not only do they feed off of that, they feed off the animosity that they created within that child has for you. It's just kind of a mess. Like I said, a lot of times with that, even with my experience and seeing it, the mother who was already had to deal with a karmic mother during her childhood, she didn't realize what was taking place or how damaging it was until 15, almost 20 years down the line. That's why a lot of people say, oh, well, that's her. She needs to know her people and black. These people will fight tooth and nail to keep generational curses going. And one thing about karmic mothers, it doesn't matter at all. They are hell-bent on everyone in the world seeing you the way they see you, which is why most of you guys who have dealt with karmic mothers, your smear campaign probably started when you were in elementary school, that young. So she has to, feed that into everybody else's mind. So by the time you get older, oh, she's a troubled child. Because like for me, by the time I was 12, everyone thought I was a troubled child. Like I said, when I attempted to unalive myself at 12, nobody even bothered to come and ask me why. I don't know what lies she told when I was really violated by a grown man. And she didn't care about that. Didn't care to call the police, nothing. But she made sure she covered her back. Because see, she had already been feeding people things for years. So they were already subconsciously programmed. And that's what happens to a lot. That's why I always feel so bad with people who had to grow up that way. Because that's hard. You have to go through it. And then a lot of people have to go through it again with their children. They don't even realize how bad it is until it's like 15 or 20 years later because of that subconscious programming. Sometimes, you would have a lot of good get along times. But like I said, that 90% is far greater than that 10%. And they've been being fed garbage since they were kids for years. So that's unfortunately what happens when you have your kids around karmic mothers. So especially now with the karmic mothers, because those tables are about to turn, and they're about to turn swiftly. So definitely right now, those wheats and tares have to be separated. So just protect your kids, protect their subconscious mind, and keep them away from toxic family. And I'll see you guys in the next.